Well, Halito, man, I'll tell you some good nostalgia, some good memories. Astroworld, Six Flags Astroworld. It was opened in 1968 about, and it was sold in 1975 to Six Flags, and that's when it became Astroworld to Six Flags Astroworld. Six Flags over Texas. It was a great, some great memories there, man. My memories are kind of layered, and things that were going on back in those days. One of the cool memories was probably late 70s, early 80s, more likely early 80s. I was still too young to ride rides. They had a train, and it's funny because from what I've read in the past, they had 4 trains, and I remember 2. One was a steam train, one was a diesel train, and the park was about 55 acres, so it wasn't huge, but you know. You got a lot of meandering, and they had little themes. They had an alpine theme. They had like a Nottingham, like everything was knights and medieval time, themed. And they had like an Asian kind of theme to part of the park, and then they had like a kind of westerny theme. But anyway, the park was themed. And if you didn't want to walk through the park to the middle of it, you could take a shuttle to around the park to the other side of it. And they turned the shuttle into a theme park, to a theme ride itself. You know, it's called the 610 Express, 610 Limited, 610 Limited. 610 is a freeway that circles Houston. It was the original freeway that circled Houston. Called 610, and I think it was also built sometime. It started in the late 60s and finished it sometime, I think, super early 70s, I think. Somewhere in that neighborhood. But 610, you could hop on 610 and you could circle Houston, circle downtown pretty much. And now that we have 610 Beltway 8 and Highway 99, Grand Parkway. I mean, we have layers and layers now. But they named this little train excursion called the 610 Limited. And they had little stops and little fake little towns and little stuff that as you're on this train, there's things to look at. Go to little nature things, and it's kind of cool. But the cool thing about it was a steam train. It was a steam train. It wasn't they had a diesel, and I remember steam train. Then all of a sudden I remember the diesel, and once my memories hit the diesel, I don't ever remember seeing the steam train again functioning. I did see it in his barn over by Grease Lightning, but not functioning. But yet I've heard up to the 2005 season ending, they did ever so often pull the steam train out and run the steam train. Oh, Cannonball number 1, I think it's called. I think it was an oil-fired train. It wasn't coal or wood or anything. I think it was oil-fired. One of my early memories. I was too young to ride a ride, but it's still, I mean, we used to go there, and it was a little ride you could ride as kids, you know. And the roller coasters like Grease Lightning and Excalibur and Texas Cyclone, all those were, you had a certain height limit to ride those. And in the early 80s, I would have been less than 10 years old, maybe 8, 9. Too small to ride a ride. Anyway, though, I remember my cousin being there. I think my cousin Shelly and Kimbo, I think Angel was there, and probably Misty. Yeah, we're all there. And the sun has set. The park closed around 10 o'clock, and they had to have fireworks and everything. It's kind of cool. But I remember sitting there by Grease Lightning, and I guess they were riding it, and I guess we're and we're too young, so we're kind of staying put. And the Cannonball number 1, 610 Limited, come rolling by, and I remember seeing the glow of the firebox on the tracks underneath it. Those holes for air to be sucked up in there and to let the fire breathe. But I think it was my brain trying to say it's probably oil burning, because I don't remember it being big enough, or even a park having the ability to coal fire this thing or wood fire. My brain said it was probably oil fire. Now that I'm older, but I remember seeing the glow of the firebox on the tracks below. It's kind of cool. I kind of remember there. In 06, the park was sold off and dismantled The property is still sitting there. It's dismantled. They had an auction in '05 after they closed. It was a big auction. You can go over there. I was living in Florida at the time still. But you can go there and buy memorabilia and pieces and parts of the park and everything. Some larger theme parks bought a lot of the rides. Train. I hear there's 4 trains. I remember 2, a steam and a diesel. There might have been 2 steam, 2 diesels. I do remember in my younger adult life riding Greased Lightning. Sometimes you could look down the barn door, and the steam train was parked in the barn. Big old barn looking thing. But like I said, most of my later older teen, young adult life, I don't remember seeing the steam train on the tracks functioning. It was just a diesel train. It's kind of weird. But and once everything got auctioned off and rides got auctioned off, and what nobody wanted to auction got torn down and dismantled. From what I hear, the trains were auctioned off and or shipped to other places. One of the diesel trains was shipped to I think Atlanta, Six Flags over Atlanta. I think they have a theme park over there. Cannonball #1, I think, was shipped to California to their rail. They have like a rail museum, and from what I hear, it was restored to functioning, to be a functional train again. The other steam train, I think, was initially transferred to Colorado to their little rail museum, and from there, it was later again shipped to California, where I think also it's been restored. Whether or not it's running on the tracks or not, it's different there, but I heard it was restored. So, but yeah, Astroworld was one of those places. It's just nostalgia, it's just out through the roof for me. The smells, and every so often I'd be doing, doing something or going somewhere. They had a Coney Island, and every so often I'd be going there and I'd get a whiff of something, and there's certain smells, and I can't even describe what those smells are. There are certain smells that will just throw me, time machine me into Astroworld, and I think, man, that is Astroworld smell. Weird because some of the rides we rode, they're all mechanical fixtures like Greased Lightning and stuff, and even the train over at work. Every so often they'll shut down the elevator and go down there and grease the slipways and grease the cables, and they'll do maintenance. And one day I got an elevator, I could smell the thick grease. I could smell it, and it just all of a sudden I was transported to Astroworld. I was like, man, I couldn't put my thumb on where that smell came from. Brain was thinking it's probably either train or Greased Lightning, because Greased Lightning had to be greased like crazy. But yeah, it just brought me back in the past for sure. But yeah, that's kind of cool memories. I mean, it just they tore it down. Now it's a big lot. I know they have concert there sometimes, and it is acts as overflow parking sometimes. The Astrodome's still there. It is the 8th one of the world. Here in Houston, they built the NRG Stadium next to it, and it's massive. It just eclipses the dome. But the dome back in the day, I think it holds like 57,000, right around almost 60,000 people. Back in the day, that was the big need. That was the stadium for the baseball games, and the bottom seating were sitting on tracks, and they could be swung out, make a diamond, baseball diamond, or they could be rotated back over to get you a football arena. So kind of cool. But the dome has now been dismantled. All the seats were auctioned off. You can go down there a couple years back, and they're auctioning off rows and colors and seat numbers, and pretty much I want to say about 98% of all the seats in the building were auctioned off. Now they're just where the seats used to be is just concrete ramps. And there's a big hoopla what to do with it, because to tear it down will cost about $1 million to kind of restore it and use it as a venue, about $1 million. I think they're trying to put it on a historical status so they can't tear it down. It's been thought of maybe putting a theme park in the inside of it. It's big enough. It's a pretty big place, but its fate is up in the air right now. But Astroworld, yeah, it closed in '05 and was dismantled a year later, 2006. And a lot of the stuff was auctioned off, including the trains. So, but yeah, I'll do a cool little series on some of my memories of Astroworld and some of the rides and stuff that were just the coolest, man, the coolest stuff. I mean, I miss those days. I really do. Hot piece of key.